So this morning I'm going to talk to you about how we take care of our sharks here at Living Planet Aquarium. So we have 5 species of sharks. 3 of them you can see pretty easily. That's our little school of black-tip sharks, our gray reef sharks, and our sandbars. We also have a nurse shark, and you can see her usually on the bottom, parked right up near the front of the acrylic here. And then we also have one that you may not see unless you're really lucky, and that's our tasseled wobbegong. It's a type of carpet shark, and they're actually evolved to sit on the bottom and blend in with their backgrounds. So he's actually pretty tricky to see unless you get really lucky. We also have some really interesting shark relatives, including our large southern stingrays, and my personal favorite, our giant guitarfish. So we take care of our sharks in a bunch of different ways. Sharks have been around in the world's oceans for hundreds of millions of years, so they're pretty good at doing what they do. A big part of what we do on a day-to-day basis is make sure that they have really good clean water, they're in a nice low-stress environment, and that they have lots of access to all the right kinds of healthy foods. But we do also provide health care for them just like we do for most of the animals, and just like you would do for your dog or cat at home. At least once a year, we'll try to get hands on them for a physical exam. That gives us an opportunity to do blood work, take x-rays, get a weight, and make sure that everything is looking okay. In the event that we were to see an animal that was having a problem, say they were missing a meal or having difficulty swimming, we have all of the equipment and expertise here on staff to get hands on that animal and perform some diagnostics. So a lot of the tools that we would use in a small animal dog or cat practice, just like you would do if you took your dog or cat to the vet, we can do here. That includes the ability to do things like blood work, advanced imaging like taking x-rays or using an ultrasound, or even using an endoscope to go in and evaluate the gills or even inside the body cavity. This gives us a pretty good chance at finding out what kind of problem we're dealing with, and then working with the husbandry team, veterinary services is able to provide, again, the same kind of medical care that we would use on any of the animals here. So one of the major indicators we have that our sharks are happy and doing well is how they're eating. And obviously we have a lot of animals. We have 5 different species of sharks here in the system behind me. And so a big part of what we do is tracking on a daily basis to make sure that each animal is getting the right kind of and the right amount of food. So every shark actually has a dedicated feeding station. This is a place where they know exactly where to come in order to get food on a feed day. They have what's called a target, which is a plastic symbol that we can place in the water at feeding time. And the different species are actually pretty good at cluing in on where their meal is going to be. This also lets us then record what kind of and how much of each type of food item each individual animal is getting. And so we have a really good idea day to day and week to week how our animals are eating. So most of the training that we do with our sharks falls into the category of what we call husbandry behaviors. So these are behaviors and training that allow us to better care for the animals here at Living Planet Aquarium. So this training takes 2 main forms. One is having dedicated feeding stations where these animals know where to come in order to get food at feeding time. The other big piece is training these guys to be comfortable around people and training them to come into areas that will allow us to work with them more closely. So we do have a corral, and this is a space which is shallow water, which lets us bring animals in if we needed to do a physical exam or just get a closer look at them. And so we do work with these animals to get them used to coming and swimming through this space on a regular basis so that it's not scary to them. And that means if we have an animal that we're a little bit concerned about or we want to take a look at, we have the ability to bring that animal in a low stress environment and hopefully try to get an idea of what's going on. Just by visiting us here at Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, you're helping us inspire other people to care for these amazing animals. Other things that you can do at home include making sure that when you're eating seafood, you're eating sustainably harvested seafood. And using an app like the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch can help you get a better understanding of where the seafood and fish that you're eating is coming from. We do the same thing here with our sharks, making sure that the food that they get every day is sustainably harvested. Thank you so much for joining us.